Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today we're going to be doing the daily reading for Friday, January 15th, 2020. And I want to wish everyone, I hope you all had a beautiful new moon. There were some very intense, powerful energies. I also want to thank everyone who hopped on over and joined the new moon manifestation ritual. That was a lot of fun, some really powerful downloads, some really powerful releases, just really all about us stepping into our empowerment as souls and really claiming that power. So it was very dynamic, and yeah, it was a really good time. And now we are moving on with the week. And today is a day that is ruled by the solar plexus chakra and guided by free will. And the galactic signature of today is the yellow rhythmic human energy. The yellow human energy is all about free will, wisdom, and influencing. And so it's this understanding, right, that we have free will. This is our gift as human beings, and that free will allows us to gain experience, to gain knowledge, and to translate that into wisdom. And so we get to choose the course of our lives. This is the beauty of this human experience, is everything is a choice. What we want to experience, the ways, the types of wisdom that we want to gain, all of that is our decision. And so we honor that decision while at the same time understanding that the collective wisdom and the collective experience is influenced by each of our free will choices. And so at some point when we have gained this wisdom, we then offer it to the collective. We offer it to other people on their path, and they can of course do with that wisdom what they will. However, it's this understanding that we gain our own wisdom, but we also share wisdom, and we are open to the wisdom of others, hopefully. And we can sort of filter that into our own life experience and utilize that as a way to make our choices and live our lives the way that we deem fit. It's also this understanding of the fact that, like, being human is a very special experience because we have the primal nature of this human body, this human mind, right? This primal energy. We also have this higher spiritual energy at the same time, and we have this amazing intellect. And so it's an adventure in blending all three of those things together, right? The mind, the body, and the spirit, and having that experience. And what a beautiful and varied experience it is. And the reason that experience is so varied is because we all have that free will. We all have our own perceptions. We all have our own innate wisdom, and we all act upon and live out that wisdom in our own unique ways. And all of those ways, of course, as we said, sort of snowball together to form this collective understanding, this collective decision around what is right and what is just and what is basically, right? Our belief of reality and the parameters of that reality is what creates and dictates that reality. And that is why we are so powerful, and that is why we are shifting right now, and how we are shifting into this new consciousness is by collectively agreeing upon a new reality, right? Sharing our wisdom with each other so that we can uplift this collective and we can grow. But of course, it is everybody's choice whether they want to raise their consciousness or not, whether they want to come along on this journey. We all have that choice in what we want to experience. And so the wisdom for today is to really make those loving choices for ourselves, right? That we choose with our free will, with our wisdom, and we're guided by self-love. If we allow self-love to guide us, love for other human beings to guide us as we make our decisions and our choices today, we utilize the wisdom of love, right? We can really make some powerful choices for ourselves. The tone of today is the rhythmic tone. So this is all about finding balance. This is all about organization and reorganization in order to maintain and achieve that balance. And it's also this energy that is very much about the collective as well. We have this tone of equality. So really this understanding that we are all equal. We are all equal. We all play our equal parts in this beautiful dance, in this beautiful rhythm of life. The affirmation for today is, I organize in order to influence, balancing wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the rhythmic tone of equality. I am guided by my own power doubled. And we have some interesting astrology going on today as well. we have the moon currently in Aquarius. And it is in the later stages of Aquarius, so it's looking like probably at some time late tonight, the moon is going to shift. But right now we are, so the moon will end up in the lovely sign of Pisces, and that's what we will be experiencing tomorrow. But for today, it's still in Aquarius, and we've got a lot of beautiful Aquarian energy going on with that stellium in Aquarius right now. And we have Mercury in Aquarius right now, conjunct Jupiter and Pallas. Very conjunct Pallas right now. So this is really helping us to get that expanded outlook, that expanded vision, right? Aquarius is the visionary. So we're really seeing, especially with this connection with Mercury and Pallas, this sort of like the route and the road to get to where we're going. We're able to strategize. We're able to call upon, right? Pallas is really good at calling upon that intuition, but merging it and governing it with logic. And so we're looking at things from a very logical standpoint, and we're seeing different paths and different possibilities and different strategies to get to where it is that we want to go. We have some energies today. We're going to feel possibly a little bit fired up today. We have the moon sextiling Eris and also in a square to true black moon. And so we're absolutely going to be, when we're looking at the moon in Aquarius, right, this is already about individuality and authenticity and sort of standing our ground. So when we have these connections to Eris and true black moon, this is very much an energy where we are not going to be wanting to put up with anything today that feels as though it's suppressing us, repressing us, demeaning us. We are going to want to champion justice in any form that we see. Where we see injustice in the world, we are very going to be emotionally affected by that and wanting to stand up, feeling that desire to speak out around that. So it's a very outspoken day today, especially with Mercury as well in Aquarius. So just keeping that in mind, keeping that inner warrior within us is going to be very much activated, and we are really going to be wanting to break free. We also have Mercury in a loose square to Uranus, and so this is just really compounding that energy. It's pressurizing it. There's a lot of pressure points today as far as freedom goes, as far as being our own individual authentic self and challenging anything that appears that it is attempting to thwart that in our own personal lives, in the lives of others as well. We're not going to be feeling as though we want to idly stand by when we watch any type of injustice happening, any type of infringement upon the rights and the inner authority of the individuals in our lives today, and absolutely, like we said, as ourselves when it comes to our own personal journeys. We have the sun moving into conjunction with Saturn, and so this is a bit of a serious energy that we're moving towards. They're still 7 degrees apart right now, and so we're starting to feel this energy, but we will be feeling it more later in the week. But it does put a little bit of a serious undertone to things right now. We also have Mars still in his squares to Jupiter and Saturn today. And the square to Saturn is exact. And so this is where we're feeling, especially with Mars conjunct Uranus right now, that energy of Uranus, like we talked about, kind of activating Mars. We're feeling really empowered. We're feeling really, really bold right now. Really wanting to push past anything that stands in the way of us really evolving and expanding. And so when we have this square action going on to Jupiter and Saturn, it's like that slowing down energy, that tension that's causing us to really look at and possibly feel as though we're being blocked. Like there are things, obstacles standing in our way, especially when it comes to like daily routine, mundane, the tasks that seem sort of mundane, right? All of these little organizational things, all of those real life things that Saturn represents, especially with that square to Saturn. And so there is some frustration possibly there as we are feeling so inspired and ready to go. And just sort of seeing like those final pieces, like what needs to be changed, what needs to be shifted in my outer reality in order for this to, like when we had the square to Pluto, it was what needs to shift in my inner reality. Now it's like what needs to shift in my outer reality so that I can blaze forward and create this new trail for myself. And it's very much about the new. With all of this Aquarius energy, it's not about the old. We're moving into the new. How do I want to move forward? What is my vision, right, for 2021? What do I want that to look like? We're seeing some ways, right? What we want to do is not focus so much, utilize this square that we have with Saturn, right, in order to really see, all right, what is the obstacle? What is the thing? What do I need to do better? What do I, taking in this tone of the day too, right? What do I need to reorganize so I can come back into balance so that I can move forward? And then tapping into that Mercury conjunct Pallas energy to be like, okay, there's a way. Let me see that greater way. The way that what am I not seeing right now? What resources do I not have? What moves can I make that haven't been apparent to me up until this point? How can I look at this from a different perspective, drawing upon my intuition, and then sort of harnessing that and pushing that forward with my logic, with my strategy, with my ability to see patterns, right? Pallas is all about patterns. Us being able to connect the dots. So like looking at and seeing all of those different variables and how they're coming together, complementing each other, not complementing each other, and how we can reorganize them into a more complementary pattern. So yeah, a lot of mental energy as far as all of that goes. Just a lot of squares, man. We got a Venus squaring Chiron. And Venus is also, and it's a bit of a looser trine, but still in trine to Mars and Uranus. And so, once again, wanting to move forward when it comes to our finances, when it comes to our relationships, really feeling that harmonizing energy of wanting to expand, wanting to go after what it is that we desire. But with this square to Chiron, we're really being asked to look at our wounds, to look at our healing process, to see what needs to be healed within us. What are these desires showing us, and what is standing in the way of the fulfillment of these desires? If we want more abundance, if we want more love, what is it that is in the way, right? Which is just what is ready to be healed. What is the block? What is the wound? What is the belief that needs to be shed so that we can move forward? And if you guys want assistance with any of this stuff, please reach out to me. I have a variety of different things that I offer, as I'm sure most of you know by now watching my channel, that can be very helpful with this. All right, and we're going to do some tarot today to check out the energies for today. Clear. Friday, January 15th. What are the energies of the day that we are dealing with? What is some guidance moving forward? You know what I want to do, actually? We're going to do, give me a card right now, Spirit, that represents the challenges of today. What are the challenges that we are dealing with today? What are the challenges that we are dealing with today? Let's get a card for that. Challenges. Ooh, there's a bunch of cards. Okay, so we have awareness as the first card coming out, which is very interesting. And then we have the Six of Cups, memories of love, and the heart chakra. And the way that this came out with the reversal, I'm feeling as though this is really looking at nostalgia. People and relationships that are not in our lives anymore at this time period, but people that we love very deeply, right, with this heart chakra card. So it's like, I feel like it's an awareness of what's in our hearts. It's almost like for some people, sort of that like absence is what makes the heart grow fonder kind of energy, where we're seeing and we're understanding. This is like that energy that we were talking about with Venus, right? Of the awareness that we're gaining, and then the awareness also over where it is that we still require healing in our hearts in order to move forward. We may be thinking about, even if we're not necessarily missing someone, though some people are, even if we're not missing them, we're definitely thinking about the things that happened in our relationships with other people, in relationships where there was deep love and deep feeling, like where things went wrong. And why that was. Like, we're wanting to heal that energy. We're wanting to move past that. We're getting a deeper understanding and awareness of who and what matters to us, and also of like where the mistakes were made, right? Where those free will choices, like we talk about with that yellow human energy, What was underneath those? What was governing that free will? Was it wisdom or was it trauma? And was it pain that still needed to be healed? So that's something that we are looking at and feeling today. And the guidance on the bottom of the deck, rest and rejuvenate. Any other challenges that we are experiencing today? Oh, no, they just wanted this out big time. This is what they want you to do, is rest and rejuvenate. They want you to take some rest, to give yourself, and we have 2 4s next to each other here, so it's 4 4. They want us, and this is actually a 1. So the 3 cards that are upright is 144. 144. And then, of course, we have the 6 of Cups inverted, which is balance, right? So finding that balance. But this is, they really want us to take care of ourselves today, to take that time out, to really rest and become centered. He's sitting on the ground in nature, right? So, of course, that guidance to allow the healing of Mother Earth, to allow her to heal us. It's like we're getting a lot of healing of the heart chakra right now. And some of that healing has been a result of pain, or there's past pain, but I'm feeling now it's more like our awareness is what's beginning to heal it. Now that we're fully aware of the truth within our hearts, of the wounds within our hearts that are ready to be healed, we can really move into the process of healing those. Now that we're aware of the truth in our hearts, once we know the truth, we can work from there. We can move from there. But it's like, first we have to understand that truth. And so just taking that time out to really care for ourselves and heal ourselves today. That's the guidance coming through there. Yeah. Yeah, I really love that 144 coming through, right? All right, let's see what are our advantages today? What is working to our advantage? What is helping us? What is assisting us today? What is helping us? What is assisting us? Discontent and boredom. And this is another 4, you guys. So that's interesting. Discontent and boredom is what's assisting us today. And I have my own thoughts about discontent and boredom and how that can be assisting us. But let's get a couple more cards. How is this assisting us? And then we have the 8 of Swords, trapped in fear. And the 6 of Swords, moving on. And so this discontent and boredom is showing us some things. It's showing us, where have I been afraid? Why am I discontent and bored, right? Is it because I'm afraid? There are fears that are keeping me stuck. And am I ready to move on from that? Am I willing to move through these fears so that I'm no longer in this energy? Am I ready to leave situations? It's like, I feel like some people feel almost like they're stuck in situations where you're not content, you're not happy, you're not fulfilled. But you haven't been able to move forward because there are too many fears standing in the way. And so it's this, I mean, look at how he's moving into the light, right? And it's just shining down upon him. And this feels like the light of awareness. Once again, that awareness coming through. So the awareness of the fears that have been keeping us stuck in situations. And this could be any situation, right? This could be relationships. This could be jobs. This could be any type of mental situation, right? Any sort of old mental habits, any type of anything. I'm feeling for some people, it's almost like things that give us a sense of security, like at least outer security, or there's something, or the things that are familiar and comfortable. But even the things that used to be familiar and comfortable are now getting uncomfortable because of the growth. It's just we're going to have to release our fears of things not working out, our fears of change, our fears of loss, right? It's like, even if we aren't happy with what we have, sometimes we're afraid to lose it because we don't know what comes after it. And so a whole lot of those different energies. Let's get more of, what are these fears? What are these fears that are holding us captive? And then we have the Hierophant, wisdom coming out. Interesting. And patience and planning. With suffering and silence. With heartache and loss on the bottom of the deck. Ooh, so these are some heavy energies here. So I feel like talking more about these fears. I feel almost like some people have been afraid to see. It's like this awareness is coming through, and it's sort of like the reason we haven't achieved this awareness yet in some situations is because we've been afraid. We've been afraid to really step into it, to see what's really there, because we've known that it's going to force us to make a change, right? It's going to force us to make a change. I feel like there are also some people who have been patiently planning, right? It's like if there's a situation that we need to move on from, or something that needs to be left behind, there has been planning put into place around this. It's just been a very slow, patient process. And it's kind of like you've been keeping this to yourself. Whatever it is that this move that needed to be made, you haven't really been able to share your thoughts, your fears, your journey with anybody. It's like you've had to keep everything very quiet, and it's sort of like there's pain surrounding that, because it makes you feel kind of alone. It also makes you feel sort of like there's nobody that you can really depend on. You're needing to do it all yourself. For whatever reason. But see how she's like, I guess she's not. She's just sitting here looking out towards the sea, right? Looking out towards what it is that she desires, but she's not moving yet. And so there's been this energy of really, and there's been a lot of pain, right? We have the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So there's been a lot of pain. I feel as though, yeah, this wisdom, even if we have been avoiding it, because we know that as we understand it more, as we embrace the wisdom and the knowledge and the growth, it's going to require us to move. It's going to require us to make some shifts and some changes. Like, even if we've been resisting it, it has been coming through. And so some people have absolutely been planning. It's almost like planning an escape route, or planning their next move, but not really reaching out to anyone else for assistance. And I feel like that might be really helpful if we were able to do that, because the suffering in silence, this is never a good energy. That's never a beneficial energy. It's not necessary. It's like, look how isolated she looks. I feel like some people feel really isolated. And so let's get some more energy on that. Tell me about this isolation, this patience and planning. We have sacrifice, the Hanged Man coming out, as well as positive movement forward with heartache and loss. And prosperity begins. That card tried to pop out, but it just flopped, so I put it back in. So it's back on the bottom of the deck. All right. And so I feel like the movement forward is moving through this heartache and loss, moving away from this energy. Like, this is the energy that some people have been stuck in for one reason or another. Whether this has to do with the loss of loved ones, I feel for some people. This also has to do with heartbreak and sadness, breakups, divorce, all different stuff like that. But you're moving through that energy. You're moving out of that energy. And it's going to require some sacrifices on your part. It's not necessarily going to be easy. I feel like that's part of what this patience and planning was all about, and this silent energy of having to silently plan and sort of utilize your wisdom and your planning abilities, but not really be able to share or speak out about what needed to happen for a while. I'm feeling like there is support coming in for people now, though. Like, where you may have not had support, or felt like you had support, or felt like you were able to reach out for support. I'm feeling like a breaking up of that energy a little bit too. But it's like, whatever you have to do, however it is that you are moving forward, there are sacrifices that are going to need to be made. And for some of you guys, that's really interesting. It's like, they're saying like sacrificing your pain. So it's sort of like, I feel like some people have gotten so accustomed to this pain, this sadness, that it's almost like you don't want to give it up because you don't know who you are without it, or you feel like you won't be strong without it. Almost like you won't be safe without this pain, because that pain is what brought the wisdom. And you're afraid that if you let go of the pain, you're not going to have the wisdom anymore. And you're maybe not going to have the drive. Like, that's why you've been suffering in silence, because you feel like that pain is the motivator that's getting you to leave this situation, leave this circumstance, leave this way of being for some of you guys. And if you let go of the pain, you're not going to have the drive to do that anymore. But you will, and you can. You can retain the wisdom without staying attached to the pain. And like I said, if you guys want assistance with any of this, please reach out to me. And there is incredible prosperity with recognition and reward and spiritual union all on the bottom of the deck there. And balance, which is all about the energy of today. And self-authority, the Emperor, right? So there's a lot of really positive stuff that's all just sitting here, right? It's just sitting in the deck, waiting to be ready, be able to unfold for you. As after you sacrifice, after you let go of this precious pain, that pain is not necessary anymore. You can release that. You can let that go. It's okay. You can be happy. You can be fulfilled. And you can still be motivated to change without pain. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's part of the wisdom and the awareness that's coming through too for some people, is the understanding that we don't have to have pain. And this is something that got brought up the other day. We were talking about this, that we used to be in the old cycle, in the 3D learning playground school, right? Pain was a big motivator. Pain was the main way that we learned, right? But we don't need to learn through pain anymore. As we are ascending, we're realizing that we're ready for some new lessons. And those lessons don't have to go through pain and struggle and heartache. We can learn those lessons through joy and bliss. That doesn't have to be the thing that motivates us. Right? We can be motivated by peace, by joy, by all of the good stuff, right? We're learning how to do that. We're learning how to utilize that. We're learning how to learn our lessons with ease and grace. And we're not requiring that suffering anymore. And so that's what we're moving into. That's another thing that we're being asked to realize and bring awareness to, and sort of let that go, right? Because yes, pain can be a great motivator to get us to change. But when we are holding on to that vibration of pain, we're not able to attract the true abundance that's ready for us either, because we're not open to that. Part of us is blocking that out, right? That energy is blocking that out. And you don't want to block this out. You don't want to block this out. You don't want to block this out. Right? All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. If you like this video, like this video. It feels good to be back. It was a couple days. I was really busy, and I wasn't able to do the videos for you guys, but I'm thinking of you every single day. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. Drop a comment, say hi. I love hearing from you guys. Let me know how the reading's resonating, how the day is going for you, how you're doing, all of that good stuff. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And there are also, what is the thing I was going to say? Yes, my email as well. Like I said, if you'd like to reach out to me, I love doing one-on-one work with you guys. It's so incredibly rewarding. And yeah, it's my favorite thing in the world that I am making these videos. So yes, have a wonderful, wonderful Friday.